Alright, this is going to be a follow-up on my ammo can boombox build. Since the last time you saw it, it is now battery powered, and I've changed out the primary speakers from Pioneer 3-ways to these Kicker 2-ways. They're DS series 4-inch. Right now it's still powered by the same amp and Bluetooth module, but the battery I have is this in-2 circuit 2600 milliamp hour. Let me see if I can just see that. 2600 milliamp hour power supply. This thing lasts all night with this thing on about low volume. But the amp I have is always turned up usually about 3/4 of the way. I don't know if you can see the dot there, but yeah, it's usually turned up 3/4 of the way, a little bit more. That's what I have it, and then I adjust the volume using the Bluetooth through my cell phone. Bluetooth module still the same one, Tautronics TTB-R02. Let's see if you can see that. You can see my ugly mug in there. There you go. TT whatever. If you want reviews on this stuff, go to YouTube. They have all this stuff. Alright, assembly is with this. On the inside I have acoustic matting on the inside and on the lid. The holes I drilled with a hole saw were too big, so I do recommend not using a hole saw. Use a Dremel. Measure out your speakers, draw a circle with a compass, and use a Dremel to cut the hole. Sand for fit, or file for fit. I didn't do that. I was lazy. I used a hole saw, and now I have to push the acoustic matting through so I don't get air gaps. These kickers I recommend over the Pioneers I had before. They have a little bit more bump to them, a little more bass. So now I'm going to assemble this. What I'll do is start out like this so you can see everything I'm doing. So first, I'm going to put the power supply together. Let's see if I get the right one. Which is the big one right here. Alright, so there, 12 volts, got a full battery. So I'm going to place that at the bottom. Let me see so I can see what the hell I'm doing. Alright, now I hook the power supply to the amplifier. Unfortunately, the wire that comes with this power supply fits perfectly into the amplifier. I don't know if you can see that. Put this over. This fits perfectly into the amplifier, so without any other adapters. It comes with a ton of adapters for laptops, cell phones, all that stuff, but for this it works perfectly. Just a one wire, done. I did it this way because I wanted everything to be plug and play. Now I hook up the wires to the back of the amp. Make sure you do it right, because if you don't, it'll sound weird. Alright, bear with me, this is going to take a sec. And I don't have editing software for video, because I'm lazy. Alright, so the amp is hooked up to the speakers. Now we hook up the Bluetooth to the amp. Using the Bluetooth came with this wire. So like I said, everything's just plug and play, which I like. Now, let me turn this up the right way. My amplifier's on. Let me put my shield in there. Don't mind my shirtlessness. The sun was out, so I decided to get a tan in the middle of February. Alright, put the amp in there. Put acoustic matting, acoustic foam I should say. This foam is there just to hold the amp from rattling around. And this one is to deaden the sound a little bit, get a little bit more oomph out of it. And put the Bluetooth in there, that would help. And now I kind of wish I had editing software. Alright, close it, and I'm going to get my cell phone, and we'll play some dubstep.
Returning to life and feeding on the living. Do not try
I will say this thing is very, very loud. My neighbors absolutely love me. Alright, now I've had this thing blasting to where it doesn't sound like too much distortion, and I use my phone as a decibel meter. Well, this crappy Moto G only goes up to, well, the microphone on it only goes up to 90 decibels. Well, it maxed that out easy, and it was still getting louder. So I'm saying this thing goes probably close to 100 decibels, if not more. I like to mount this on my bicycle, but this thing is awesome. It's portable. Everybody knows, like, dude, can you make me one? I'm like, yeah, sure. This cost me total probably on $250 to make. If you go on Thaudio.com, they have a professional one that's all fancy and everything, and that's like $600. Well, I don't want to pay $600 for something that I can make, so $250, you can make your own. The problem that I have now is that I have to keep opening the box to turn on the power supply, to turn on the amplifier, and to turn the Bluetooth on so I can sync it with my phone. I'm trying to figure out how to disassemble the battery so I can mount power supply button here with a little LED strip there, another button for the amplifier, or even just mount the amplifier to the top here with the knob sticking out, and then another one for to sync the Bluetooth. Another thing with this is because the Bluetooth is inside the box and the box is all metal, signal strength is a problem. If I put the phone in front of, like, if I take my cell phone and I walk maybe 20 feet away, it'll start skipping, it'll start cutting out. Or if my body is in between my phone and the actual box, if I'm like a couple feet away, it'll actually start losing signal. So that's another thing I have to accommodate for. But I've seen some people that have actually a little tube they put here for resonance and or for porting, whatever, and they put the Bluetooth in that little tube to help get a little bit more range out of it. So far, I love this damn thing. It's awesome. I use it at work during my lunch break to watch YouTube videos, listen to music. I think this would be awesome, like bring to a beach or a party, like, you know, going somewhere and they don't really have a good sound system but their TV. You put this thing in front of the TV and just blast away. Anybody could use the Bluetooth. You know, it's not like it's exclusively to your phone. This thing's awesome. I highly recommend making one. I'm going to make another one. This is my first prototype. I'm going to make another one with this ammo can. As you can see, the ammo can is a little bit bigger than the one I have here. See if I can get it in the shot. Yeah, this ammo can is called a Fat 50 ammo can. You can see it's bigger in all dimensions. Actually, this can fits perfectly inside of this can. With this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the same amplifier, same Bluetooth, same power supply, but I'm going to use, instead of 4-inch speakers, I'm going to use 4x6-inch speakers, which are larger diameter, well, a larger surface area, and that way I might be able to try to make a little bit more bass. And that's the theory, anyway. So, yeah, that's my video. Hope you like it. Have a good day.